15 most dangerous foods for arthritis that you often overlook. Hello, friends. Welcome back to our channel. Arthritis is more than just joint pain. It's a condition that can deeply affect daily life, making simple tasks feel difficult and frustrating. Millions around the world deal with this chronic ailment, which includes more than 100 different types, such as osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. While medication and therapies can help manage the symptoms, what many people don't realize is that their diet could be making things worse. Certain foods, often overlooked, can trigger inflammation and worsen arthritis pain, making day-to-day life even harder. In this video, we're shedding light on 15 foods that could be causing more harm than good if you have arthritis. Stay with us to learn which items you might want to reconsider on your plate to help you live comfortably and easily. 1. Red meat. Red meat, including beef, pork, and lamb, can worsen arthritis symptoms primarily due to its high levels of saturated fat and omega-6 fatty acids, both of which contribute to inflammation. Saturated fats stimulate the production of pro-inflammatory compounds, leading to joint discomfort and swelling. Additionally, omega-6 fatty acids, found in many animal-based foods, can disrupt the balance of fatty acids in the body, promoting inflammation when they exceed omega-3s, the beneficial anti-inflammatory fats found in fish and flax seeds. This imbalance can exacerbate arthritis symptoms, particularly in joints affected by rheumatoid arthritis. Processed red meats, like bacon and sausages, often contain additives and preservatives, which further increase inflammatory markers and may contribute to other health risks, including cardiovascular disease. People with arthritis are encouraged to consider alternatives such as lean or plant-based proteins, which reduce inflammation levels and support joint health without the inflammatory effects of red meat. To manage arthritis effectively, it's helpful to limit red meat intake or choose lean cuts occasionally, balancing the diet with anti-inflammatory foods. Along with managing weight, a crucial factor in reducing joint stress, a diet lower in red meat and richer in vegetables, whole grains, and healthy fats can aid in relieving arthritis symptoms while supporting overall health. 2. High-fat dairy. High-fat dairy products, including cheese, butter, and whole milk, are known to aggravate arthritis symptoms due to their high saturated fat content. Saturated fats have been shown to trigger inflammatory pathways, which may worsen joint inflammation in people living with arthritis. In addition to fats, dairy contains casein, a protein that some people's immune systems react to as if it were harmful, potentially leading to increased inflammation and joint pain. This reaction, particularly in those with a sensitivity to dairy, can worsen conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. To limit inflammation, it's often recommended to avoid full-fat dairy and opt for plant-based alternatives like almond, soy, or oat milk, which lack casein and saturated fats. If dairy is essential in your diet, switching to low-fat or probiotic-rich yogurt can be beneficial, as these options generally reduce inflammation and support gut health without exacerbating joint discomfort. Moderation is key with dairy, as high intake has been associated with weight gain, which contributes to joint stress and inflammation. 2. Omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 fatty acids are found in many oils, such as corn, sunflower, and soybean oil, and are commonly used in processed snacks, baked goods, and fried foods. While omega-6 is essential for health in small amounts, excessive intake without a balance of omega-3 fatty acids can lead to inflammation. Omega-6 fats can transform into pro-inflammatory compounds called eicosanoids in the body, intensifying joint discomfort for people living with arthritis. Since these fats are often overrepresented in modern diets, reducing omega-6 intake by replacing these oils with olive oil, which contains monounsaturated fats, or cooking with omega-3 rich oils like flaxseed or walnut oil may help. These oils decrease inflammation and support overall cardiovascular health, a common concern for people with chronic inflammatory conditions. Reducing processed foods and cooking with anti-inflammatory oils can achieve a healthier balance between omega-6 and omega-3 fats, potentially reducing arthritis symptoms over time. 3. Sugary beverages. Sugary drinks, such as sodas and sweetened fruit juices, are a major source of added sugars, which have been linked to inflammation throughout the body. When sugar is consumed, it leads to spikes in blood glucose, prompting the release of inflammatory proteins like cytokines. For people with arthritis, this can result in increased joint pain and stiffness. Additionally, sugary beverages contribute to weight gain, adding pressure on weight-bearing joints and exacerbating arthritis symptoms. Alternatives to sugary beverages include infused water, herbal teas, or diluted fruit juices without added sugars, which keep the body hydrated without the inflammatory effects of sugar. For those needing a sweet touch, a splash of lemon or lime or a few fresh fruit slices can add flavor to water without contributing to inflammation. 4. Processed meats. Processed meats like bacon, sausages, and deli cuts contain high levels of saturated fats, preservatives, and added sugars, all of which can intensify inflammation. Nitrites, commonly used in these meats as preservatives, are known to increase oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Additionally, processed meats often contain significant amounts of omega-6 fatty acids and trans fats, disrupting the body's inflammatory balance and promoting joint pain. Studies show that consuming high amounts of processed meats is associated with elevated inflammatory markers, impacting joint health and cardiovascular well-being. For people living with arthritis, reducing intake of these meats or choosing unprocessed lean protein sources, such as poultry or fish, is often recommended. Fish, in particular, offers anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids that may help alleviate joint pain. 5. Fried foods. Fried foods, which include popular items like fried chicken, French fries, and donuts, are high in trans fats and frequently cooked in oils rich in omega-6 fatty acids. Trans fats are formed during the hydrogenation process and can elevate inflammatory markers, worsening symptoms for those with arthritis. Omega-6 fatty acids, often used in frying, can further shift the body's inflammatory balance when consumed in excess. For a similar flavor profile without inflammation, air frying or baking foods is a healthier alternative that limits the harmful fats associated with deep frying. Choosing methods like grilling or roasting can also provide a satisfying texture while maintaining a lower fat content. Studies indicate that reducing fried food intake can significantly lower systemic inflammation, which can be beneficial not only for arthritis, but also for general health, as these fats have also been linked to cardiovascular disease. 6. Refined carbohydrates. Refined carbohydrates, including white bread, white rice, and traditional pasta, are often staples in many diets, but they can be problematic for individuals with arthritis. When refined, grains lose their fiber, vitamins, and minerals, leaving behind simple sugars that are rapidly digested. This process causes quick blood sugar spikes, activating the body's inflammatory response. Specifically, these sugar spikes stimulate cytokine molecules that promote inflammation that can worsen arthritis pain and stiffness. Moreover, refined carbs contribute to weight gain, a key concern for arthritis patients, as additional weight puts stress on joints, particularly in the knees and hips, leading to worsened pain and mobility issues. Replacing refined carbohydrates with whole grains, such as brown rice, quinoa, and whole wheat pasta, can have significant benefits. Whole grains are rich in fiber, which helps stabilize blood sugar, supports weight management, and reduces inflammation. By choosing complex carbohydrates over refined options, people with arthritis can experience steadier energy levels and reduce joint discomfort linked to dietary inflammation. Additionally, whole grains offer essential nutrients like magnesium, which plays a role in regulating inflammation, offering a natural way to manage arthritis symptoms. 7. Candy and sweets. Candy and sweet treats, such as cakes, pastries, and candy bars, are rich in added sugars, which can harm arthritis management. Consuming high-sugar foods can lead to spikes in blood glucose levels, stimulating the release of cytokines, proteins that play a central role in the inflammatory process. For those with arthritis, this increase in inflammatory activity can exacerbate joint pain, stiffness, and swelling, making sugary treats a challenging indulgence. Moreover, frequent consumption of sugary foods contributes to weight gain, adding further strain to joints, especially weight-bearing ones like hips, knees, and ankles, thus amplifying arthritis symptoms. Additionally, many sweet foods contain hidden sugars, so checking labels for ingredients like fructose, sucrose, and high-fructose corn syrup can be beneficial. For a healthier alternative, individuals can turn to fruits, particularly berries, which are naturally sweet and rich in antioxidants that combat inflammation. Small amounts of dark chocolate, 70% cocoa or higher, can also offer a satisfying anti-inflammatory treat. 8. Canned and processed foods. Canned and processed foods, from soups to frozen meals, are often high in sodium and preservatives, which can aggravate arthritis symptoms. Excessive sodium intake leads to water retention, causing bloating and increased blood pressure, which may exacerbate joint stiffness and pain for arthritis patients. Additionally, many processed foods include additives and preservatives designed to prolong shelf life. Some can trigger immune responses, potentially worsening inflammation in sensitive individuals. For instance, canned vegetables and soups often contain substantial salt levels, which may be especially problematic for those with arthritis, as it can heighten inflammation around the joints. To minimize these effects, people with arthritis are encouraged to choose fresh or minimally processed foods and to prepare meals at home where salt intake can be better controlled. When canned foods are necessary, low-sodium or no-salt added varieties are preferable. Incorporating fresh vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains can help maintain a nutrient-rich, anti-inflammatory diet that supports joint health. 9. Alcohol. Although alcohol may offer some anti-inflammatory effects in moderate amounts, excessive consumption is detrimental to arthritis management. Alcohol raises uric acid levels in the bloodstream, which can trigger or worsen gout, a type of arthritis characterized by sudden, severe joint pain, particularly in the big toe. Furthermore, alcohol promotes dehydration, which can lead to joint stiffness and muscle cramps. Regular consumption of alcohol can also interfere with arthritis medications, such as NSAIDs, by increasing the risk of stomach irritation, liver damage, and bleeding complications. Since alcohol impacts the liver, an organ responsible for processing toxins, overconsumption may compromise the body's ability to handle inflammation effectively. For arthritis patients, alternatives like water, herbal teas, or fruit-infused water can help maintain proper hydration, supporting joint lubrication and reducing stiffness. Mild, occasional consumption of alcohol may be safe for some people, but they can benefit more from hydration-focused drinks that aid joint function without the risks associated with alcohol. 10. Gluten-containing foods. Gluten, a protein found in wheat, barley, and rye, is associated with inflammation in some individuals, particularly those with autoimmune arthritis or gluten sensitivity. For people with arthritis, consuming gluten may trigger or worsen symptoms, as gluten can activate immune responses that increase inflammation. Inflammatory markers rise in response to gluten in those sensitive to it, contributing to joint pain and stiffness. While not all arthritis patients are sensitive to gluten, many with autoimmune forms, like rheumatoid arthritis, find that a gluten-free diet reduces symptoms. Common sources of gluten include bread, pasta, and many baked goods, so identifying and avoiding these foods can help reduce inflammation. Gluten-free grains such as quinoa, rice, and buckwheat provide suitable alternatives, offering essential nutrients without the potential inflammatory effects of gluten. For those unsure if gluten affects their arthritis, an elimination diet, Removing gluten temporarily and then reintroducing it can help assess personal sensitivity. 11. Trans fats. Trans fats, commonly found in processed snacks, baked goods, and margarine, are highly inflammatory, which can be particularly problematic for individuals with arthritis. These artificial fats are created through hydrogenation, which turns liquid oils solid, extending shelf life but introducing harmful effects on health. Trans fats increase levels of low-density lipoprotein, LDL, also known as bad cholesterol, while decreasing high-density lipoprotein, HDL, or good cholesterol, leads to increased systemic inflammation. This heightened inflammation can worsen joint pain, stiffness, and swelling. Studies show that diets high in trans fats are associated with elevated markers of inflammation and a higher risk of heart disease, conditions often co-occurring with arthritis. Reading labels to avoid partially hydrogenated oils is essential, as this is a common term for trans fats. Healthier options include olive, avocado, or coconut oil, which offer beneficial fats that support heart and joint health without increasing inflammation. 12. Monosodium glutamate, MSG. MSG, a common flavor enhancer in processed foods, can exacerbate inflammation in certain individuals, particularly those with arthritis. Though the relationship between MSG and inflammation is not fully understood, some studies suggest that MSG activates receptors that may trigger immune responses, leading to inflammation. For those with arthritis, this could mean increased joint pain, swelling, and stiffness. MSG is often found in soups, snacks, and some Asian foods, which makes it challenging to avoid if eating a diet high in processed items. Furthermore, MSG-containing foods may have other additives and preservatives that can provoke inflammatory reactions in the body, particularly around the joints. Reading ingredient labels to avoid MSG can help reduce its potential effects on inflammation. Instead of MSG, natural herbs and spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic, or lemon can enhance flavor while offering anti-inflammatory benefits. 13. Artificial sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners, particularly aspartame, are common in diet drinks and low-calorie foods. While they are marketed as sugar-free alternatives, some artificial sweeteners may provoke immune reactions in certain people, leading to an inflammatory response. Aspartame, in particular, is classified as a foreign substance by the body, potentially triggering an immune response that can worsen symptoms in arthritis patients. This inflammation can increase joint pain and stiffness, further complicating symptom management. Additionally, some studies indicate that the regular consumption of artificial sweeteners may lead to other health issues, like glucose intolerance, which can exacerbate inflammatory processes in the body. Instead of artificial sweeteners, natural alternatives like stevia or small amounts of honey are gentler on the body and unlikely to trigger inflammation. Furthermore, consuming natural sweeteners in moderation helps satisfy sweet cravings without the potential side effects of artificial ingredients. 14. Nightshade vegetables. Nightshade vegetables, such as tomatoes, potatoes, peppers, and eggplants, contain alkaloids like solanine, which, though naturally occurring, can cause inflammatory reactions in some individuals. While scientific evidence on nightshade's impact on arthritis is inconclusive, many individuals with arthritis report heightened symptoms after consuming these vegetables. Solanine and other alkaloids in nightshades are thought to aggravate joint pain in sensitive people, possibly due to their effect on the nervous system. Arthritis patients unsure of their sensitivity to nightshades may consider an elimination diet, removing these vegetables for a period, then reintroducing them to monitor any change in symptoms. If nightshades worsen joint pain, replacing them with non-nightshade vegetables, like carrots, zucchini, or leafy greens, can provide similar nutrients without triggering inflammation. 15. Hydrogenated oils. Hydrogenated oils, commonly found in processed foods, are another source of trans fats, which are highly inflammatory. During hydrogenation, liquid oils are converted into solids, extending shelf life but creating trans fats that can aggravate joint inflammation and stiffness. When consumed, trans fats increase low-density lipoprotein, LDL levels, while decreasing high-density lipoprotein, HDL, contributing to an inflammatory response throughout the body. For arthritis patients, this inflammation can worsen joint pain and swelling, impacting mobility and comfort. Studies show that a diet high in trans fats can elevate inflammatory markers and exacerbate chronic conditions associated with arthritis. Avoiding hydrogenated oils is beneficial to reduce inflammation, often listed as partially hydrogenated on labels. Healthier oil choices, such as olive, avocado, or coconut oils, provide beneficial fats that support heart and joint health without contributing to inflammation. Thanks for watching. If you found these insights helpful, consider giving the video a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel for more tips on living well and managing health through everyday choices. Do you have any questions or want to share foods that have helped your arthritis? Drop them in the comments below. Remember, every small change counts. Here's to moving more comfortably and living with less pain. See you in the next video.